Well, it was a game full of incidents and talking points, but what's your overriding emotion and thoughts at the final whistle?
Well, after going back in the dressing room and speaking to the boys and understanding and watching the penalty incident for the second goal, getting overturned, extremely disappointed and annoyed because it goes against the rules. And I don't understand it, and it changes the course of the tie. So very, very upset.
Were you able to speak to the referee to find out why he overturned it?
No, but I mean the whole sequence tells the story. I mean it's a clear contact. You make that decision. You cannot overturn that decision when you have to look at it 13 times. It's just at this level, it's completely unacceptable.
And it was overturned after the referee went to the pitch side monitor. Do you feel that he was influenced by the crowd?
I don't know. That's an answer for him, but obviously it's a wrong decision and it changes the course of the time.
What about the penalty that Atleti were awarded themselves? What's your thoughts on that? Is it frustrating that it appears that the rules seem to be different in the Premier League to the Champions League?
It is the rule, and they've been quite consistent with that. So on that one, if you're going to give a penalty for this kind of things, you have to accept that. I have nothing to say with that, but the one that changes completely everything is a penalty on EPS, and that cannot happen at this level.
I know it's really tough at this stage to look past those incidents that you feel hard done by, but what are your thoughts on the way your team played tonight?
Yeah, we have a lot of positives, a lot of very good things that we did. We went through very positive moments. We knew we were going to have top moments. I mean, this team, the history and the record that they had at home is incredible against the best team in the world, getting 3 and 4 goals. So we knew we were going to have to navigate through that, but we should have get more.
What's the message to the players then at this halfway point, still halfway to that final?
Halfway, I mean, we are in an incredible position. Semi-final of the Champions League, we have to play in front of our people. It's in our hands, and that's it. And now recover and Fulham.
That's it. It's not the next game. You still have a big game in the Premier League to come on Saturday. How are you managing that recovery of the players to go again, fight again for another massive match?
Make sure that they eat, sleep, they get a lot of love, and use every single hour of the day to get in the best position to compete and win against Fulham.
So good. US international on the pitch in a Champions League semi-final. Love it, love it. What did you make of his performance?
Oh, solid like the team. You know, it wasn't much into the game, like I said to you, but to be able to have an American guy on the field at that level is outstanding for the country.
Micah, you love to go Team America usually.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good game, didn't he, Kate? I don't want to go too, over the top.
Not like you.
Well, I mean, I've learned by doing that. But yeah, he had a very good game. Solid, I would say. 7.5 out of 10. If you must know.
Oh, 7.5. Okay, good on there.
Yeah.
I guess one of the things that we've said is interesting about this tie is that Atletico now are all entirely focused on Champions League because they already know that they're going to finish within those Champions League spots in La Liga, so they can fully afford to focus on Champions League. Not the case for Arsenal, who now have to play in the league at the weekend, and then this second leg against Atletico next week. How will they manage that burden, that load?
I don't see an issue, personally. Jamie doesn't agree, thinks that the Fulham game should be an issue in between the two. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy and pleasant because the game against Newcastle was very difficult. But you have the squad to be able to deal with that, so deal with it.
You think differently?
I just think Thierry's right in that they have got the squad. Now, if this was in November, you make a few changes. I just think the stakes are so high. There's no way Mikel Arteta's going to be making changes in these games. I'd be very surprised. Now, the reason maybe he's in this situation right now where a lot of players do look a little bit fatigued is because he hasn't made those changes earlier on, maybe when the stakes weren't as high. But right now, I just think, if they draw against Fulham, they'll think that they've lost the league. Really. So I think, if Mikel Arteta had already won the league, they'd probably make changes against Fulham. And they'd really go all in this. I'm not talking about sort of 7 or 8 changes, but maybe 2 or 3 big players, and they think, OK, we'll keep you on the bench. I just think the stakes are so high for them in the Premier League, probably slightly more so as well, because they've been so long without.
Can I just ask you was going for the league a couple of times with Liverpool, didn't you? Yeah. Years when you was winning when you won the Champions League.
We were in the Champions League.
But how did that differ when you won the Champions League and then the league? How did that differ? In terms of Arsenal now, they're going for both, aren't they? Or in the running for both.
Yeah.
But obviously they need to win one. Would you say Arsenal fans, Thierry, would prefer to win the Premier League over the Champions League?
We're not in that bracket of preferring. We didn't win anything for a very long time. You leave that to people that Man City can prefer stuff, not us. You give me something. You cannot be that cocky to say we prefer this or that. Team that often win can be cocky. I want something. I don't know what it's going to be.
In terms of the fans, what would they prefer?
I'm one. I don't prefer anything. Personally, like I said to you, the league, because you can have a thing, but we cannot be sitting here and go like, let's see what we prefer. Man City can do that because that's what they're about. I'll take anything. I'm as a fan. But now, if I analyze the game and everything, I want the league a bit more. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you can't be sitting here and saying it will be this, it will be this, it will be that. But when you go for the title and the Champions League and the Cup, that's when it's difficult. That's when it's really extra. And if you go back to my time, I don't like to do eras and stuff. We had 18 players. 17? Yes. How many do they have? To play on a lot of, you were.
You can utilize your squad.
Yeah, but on a lot of competition, you out of the FA Cup. Obviously, we know that you were not in the you were not in the semis, and so you can deal with that.
Would you rotate then if you were Arteta, or would you make a few changes? What I'm saying is, I know they've got the numbers, but do you think?
The rotation is, as you said before, for me, personally, I've been in that situation where I didn't play against Man United when we had to play Chelsea back-to-back. Yeah. Man United and you guys, to obviously in the league, that was a tough game. I didn't play against Man United in the semi-final. Didn't play at all. So, rotation cannot be for me more than one or two. Last year, Paris Saint-Germain, on the run of the treble, okay, more often than not, it was Desiré Doué or Barcola. If not, it was the same team. So are they superhuman? How can they play the treble? And people tell me, yeah, but the league, that's your league. I've done it at Barcelona. We won the treble. Man United won the treble. Inter won the treble. Bayern won the treble. It can be done. So what I'm trying to say to you is, I don't often like the excuses thing. You have a game in front of you, play it. You play the team that you play, that's on you. Nobody remembers that I didn't play against Man United, right? Like that goal when we lost against Man United in the semi-final, of the FA Cup. Nobody remember. I remember, obviously, because I didn't play. But nobody remembers that. There's no excuses. You have a team. As I said to you, put money on the table. You have two squads. And I hope, as an Arsenal fan, that we can win. You understand what I mean? But then you can't be sitting here, you want to be in the semi-final of the Champions League. You want to be battling for the title. Embrace it, battle for it, and let's see at the end, like I always say, what's going to happen.
Micah, talking about what's going to happen at the end of the season, throughout the night, at some points you've said, I think City will win the league. You've also said you think PSG or Bayern will win the Champions League. So you believe that they'll end up trophyless, Arsenal?
Yeah, I only think that because of pressure. I think Arsenal, when these guys have been talking about Arsenal, and I've defended Arsenal a lot because in the Champions League phase, they finished top. And yes, they're not scoring as much set pieces, although they scored a set piece against Newcastle. I was thinking Arsenal was just going to get over the line. However, when they opened up that door for Man City, now it's not just about the football. It's about experience, and it's about who can handle the pressure the most. When we were going for the league, we went ahead of Man United, and then we couldn't deal with the pressure at the time. They went ahead of us. We chased, and that's why I always say with Jamie, I prefer to chase because I've done that. I've done that as a player, and I feel like there was no pressure. Look at the last game of the season, QPR. That game, we should have beat QPR 3-4, 5-0. But it didn't go that way because of the pressure. And why I say Man City will win the league is because I think they're experienced in dealing with this, especially at this time of the season. In the Champions League, anything can happen. Thierry mentioned it for a while now in terms of defensively. They're the best, aren't they? They are the best. But it's just, can they get over the line going forward? And that might be a set piece. And they could win the Champions League in that manner. But at the league, I think Man City, at this time of the season, go on with it.
Okay, so Jules managed to get a smile out of him eventually. Look, extremely disappointed is what he said about that penalty decision. The other one, he said, look, fair, those are the rules. And I guess he probably watched the game last night as well and realised that these penalties are going to be given, even if they are in close proximity to another part of your body. But in terms of the one that we've all been talking about, he is adamant it's the wrong decision.
Yeah, it's very understandable that he's upset and he's emotional, and it would have changed the course of the game. I think if Arsenal could have got themselves in front 2-1, it would have been a massive moment over the both games. And again, you watched the game last night, he would have watched it, the penalty incidents in the PSG game. So you'd accept the Ben White one, you'd have to go, well, that's the rules across the board, even though it's a shambles as well. But you can understand his frustration, and he feels really hard done by, and I agree.
Yeah. What about the context of a 1-1 draw that he gets to take back to the Emirates?
Yeah.
Overall, what do we make of it?
It could have been better, but I think you'll take that. And obviously Arsenal now have that advantage. Winning the league has given you that chance to play the second leg at home. That's all important, I feel. The fans obviously will get behind. They've just seen what happened tonight. I think it will be equally as horrible for these Atletico players as they try to make it for Arsenal. It'll be a united Emirates, and hopefully Arsenal get what they need. But they've a big game between now and then at the weekend, and he'll quickly change his attention to
his
that.
team talk is done for next week against Atletico Madrid. Yeah. The injustices of this evening, the frustration, that's the fuel for next week's game. Just go out and batter these now after what happened last week. And that's what I feel. I feel it'll galvanise Arsenal to go out and do the job next week. And all the fans, as Martin rightly said, there'll be so much frustration and they'll get fully behind them and make it as difficult as possible for Atletico Madrid. And we were speaking off camera. You're in the semi-final of the Champions League. You win at home and you're through. I mean, you take that all year long, wouldn't you? You take that all year long. So it's a wonderful position from Arsenal, even though we understand their frustration tonight, absolutely.
Breaking up play and how actually he can influence the game out of possession sometimes more than in possession. What did you make of his performance?
Yeah, I thought he was great as well. I thought Arsenal's midfield were dominant for large parts of the game, for the whole first half and for periods of the second half. I think they complement each other really well. He played slightly further forward, Declan played slightly deeper today, but in other games we've seen Declan get around the edge of the box and let fly and score magnificent goals. I think they're a really good combination, and Odegaard complements both of them. They're a real good trio, but I think in the second leg they've got to get Eze on the pitch. I think he gives them just that little bit more spark, a little bit more power. He just looks that little bit more dangerous to me.
Do you think Saka plays?
Yeah, I think so.
He does for me. He does for me. You play your big game players
Yeah.
in the second leg. You can understand them wanting to change and freshen the energy up and change the squad about, but you play your biggest players in the second leg of a Champions League final, your big game players.
It's interesting because Odegaard gives you that press, doesn't he? Which Eze maybe doesn't give you, but then Eze gives you...
He gives you the press, but
that
does he
player in
regain
the
the
box.
ball? He gives you the press on the eye, but does he regain the ball?
Well,
took him off after 57
yeah, but he certainly,
minutes,
he certainly
obviously
applies
wasn't happy
pressure.
with him tonight.
Yeah, but I think it's more to do with managing minutes because he's come back from injury, and it's a case of like, you know, there's another game at the weekend. So all these guys are coming back and not quite getting to the form they were previously in. And that's natural because you've been out for such a long time. So I think he's managing that situation as well as he can. But Eze, yeah, I agree. You want him on the pitch.
Okay.
Victor, 1-1 here away from home at Atleti would ordinarily be seen as a really good result. But do you feel like you should have had more out of that?
I think in the first half we controlled the game quite well, I think, and had a few good opportunities to score. Managed to score out of one of them, and then I think in the second half they started much better. Maybe deserved to get a goal eventually, and then towards the end I think we got a few okay chances, but yeah, overall I think tough game. We know it's a tough place to come, but it's only half time.
Do you feel a bit hard done by the penalty decisions tonight?
I didn't see there, so difficult to say, but it's football.
What about the one on Eze? Because by that point you were on the bench. Did you manage to get a replay of it? What were you told?
I don't know why they turned it down. It looks like a contact, but it's their decision.
As you say in the game, Arsenal had a lot of control in the first half. Once Atleti scored, how difficult was it to regain momentum in the game?
It was not very easy. Of course, they have the crowd here. Of course, we always try to play and to get back that momentum we had in the first half. I think towards the end, I think we got it back a little bit. But it was a tough second half.
You're halfway towards the final, though, and the second leg is at home. How much belief do you have that you can get the job done at home next week?
Yeah, we know when we play at home with our fans, it's gonna be different for sure. And yeah, we just have to do our job, and for sure it's gonna be a good game at home.
Well played tonight.
Thank you.
Welcome on into our studio in London. Here we are. Have a hug. Yes, Kate, Thierry, Jamie and Micah. So we got highlights for you of this 1-1 between Atletico and Arsenal from Madrid. Let's take you through it. Micah, you want to start us off with the highlights?
Yeah, I'll go with Alvarez, seeing as he was a former City player. And, you know,
you were happy to get rid of.
I was buzzing when he was at Manchester City. I mean, this guy can do anything. Twisted and turning. And look at that for an effort. Just doesn't start it far enough away from the post, but nevertheless, good save from David Raya.
And then Noni Madueke on the ball here, as you can see, cutting inside, and that ball was never going to be on target. But at least he went in, tried. He was brave a couple of times trying to run at people, and he couldn't curve that one in.
And then the penalty decision. Hanko, it is a penalty. That one. I mean, Gyökeres is clever, knows what he's doing, but why wouldn't you? Of course he should do that. Gyökeres almost stop and wait for him to come in behind him.
I agree with you, Jamie, but I still think it's pretty soft, you know.
No, but what I'm saying is, what's Gyökeres supposed to do? You know.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's had, as I said before, he's had a lot of criticism, but oh my God, he takes a good penalty. He takes the courage, he steps up, puts his foot right through it, as we all like to see penalties taken. Yeah. And there's the celebration.
Yeah, this game was a bunch of penalty incidents. Let's take a look at the next one. No, sorry, let's take a look at the same one again. Micah, how did you feel about this one?
Yeah, I think Jamie's right in terms of he uses his body well. But is there enough contact there to warrant a penalty? I mean, he's wrong side, Hanko. So the referee, especially when Gyökeres gets in front of him, he's going to say it's a penalty. He's not going to go to the screen and that's not going to be overturned. But I just feel that it was slightly soft. But I understand why the referee gave it.
OK, let's go into the second half now and look at some chances for Atletico Madrid that we saw here. Jamie, you want to take these?
Yeah, I think this is Lookman and Griezmann, isn't it? The double chance second half. And listen, they look like a different team, second half Atletico Madrid. We've seen this before with Simeone as soon as they go down. So, comfortable save initially. Then I thought, that's the big chance, isn't it?
Gabriel.
I thought initially it was the goalkeeper, but brilliant defending from Gabriel.
What Gabriel does, he touches it, but because it's attached to his body, right? I mean, close to his body, bad. It obviously.
But this, I mean, it probably is in the law a handball in terms of where his arm is. But we don't want. I actually agree with you on this, Jamie. I don't want to see penalties given for this. I just don't. It just doesn't feel right to me.
No,
you know.
I really don't like it.
And the only reason I'm saying this, stand up. If you're kicking the ball there, you kick the ball. I'm here, and. If your body shape's there, your hand is going to be there.
Exactly.
So that's a natural position.
Exactly.
In that, you know.
If Ben White, which I can't work out which way he's going, but he's fallen to one side. Your arm can't fall with it. It's got to be there.
Correct.
And initially, when the ball's kicked, his arm is there, but it hasn't hit his arm yet. It takes a deflection. When it does hit his arm's there.
Yeah.
And what's he supposed to do? He's fallen down to try and block a shot. It's winding me up. Last night was worse than that. But look, so he's trying to.
And then goes on to his hand.
No,
it's not like it's out. It's not like
it's out now, but it comes
bang,
in
bang.
And it takes a deflection. Number one, when he's moving, his arm's going to be out. Now, I've said for a long time, I hate these penalties in the Champions League, and the thought of a Champions League final getting decided on that. But we're in the semi-finals. You know, we're very lucky last night.
What's happening to your voice?
I know. Because I'm so wound up. But the point being is, last night was such a good game that we forgot about the penalty decision. Imagine there wasn't any other goals in the second half, and we were talking about that. We should be talking about this as we are now. You know, the game finishes 1-1. I'm not having it. It's not right. It's not fair. I just think it's gone far too far. But don't get me wrong. As soon as I saw the incident, I knew it was going to be a penalty. This is the Champions League way of doing it. But Honestly, if we go to Budapest and someone wins the Champions League on one of these ridiculous handballs, it's a stain on the Champions League. The Champions League is the best competition in the world by a mile. The World Cup can't come close. No domestic division can come close. And the only thing letting it down is this, where you're just thinking, this is ridiculous. You've got the best players in the world playing for the biggest trophy they can win in club football, and something like that's going to decide a game at this level. It's not right. It's not fair on the players.
Would you quit?
Would I quit the game?
Yeah, just
no.
over
There's
it.
a right few quid in it.
Hypocrisy at its finest. You should become a referee, shouldn't you?
But they don't need to. It's got to stop.
You can solve this.
Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. Nobody.
I have to agree with Jamie on this.
What do you propose then? What do you think? What can happen then?
It's just a bit of common sense. I mean, where's Christina when you need the common sense? I mean, come on. You know what? The first thing that would stop the 2 penalties that we've saw the last 2 nights, if something hits another part of your body and then hits your arm, it's not a penalty.
You would like that as a new law?
Yeah.
Okay, that's at least a solution instead of talking about the problem, because every time we talk about it, so I'm not having a go, I'm just saying that every time we hear talking about the problem, what can be the solution then we can go forward, because always debating about the problem, you're not going anywhere. What can be the solution? So that's good. A new law, if there is a deflection, it goes on the end, it should be okay.
Oh, this is very constructive. I enjoyed this. Yes, there we go. Done, settled.
That?
Yep.
Can we get that sorted for next week?
Let's see. Alvarez scored the penalty. Should we take a look at it?
Yes, we saw that David Raya before that went to the goalkeeper coach and had a long discussion. I think obviously he thought that he was going to hit it in the middle. But Julian Alvarez just smashed it exactly in the same spot, obviously higher than what Gyökeres did to make it 1-1.
Then Griezmann hits the bar. Wonderful. The only thing I could criticise about his technique here, Kate, if you want me to educate you, we talk about education and all that sort of thing. He's leaning back when he hits it. So because he's leaning back, it sends the ball upwards rather than, maybe more on target, let's say.
Thank you for mansplaining that to me. Yes.
Show us what you mean.
Did you just say that?
What did you just say?
Mansplaining that to me. What did it sound like?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did you not think I said?
No, it just takes a lot to shock him.
I know. What were you shocked about?
No, it's all right. Let's move on.
I don't even know what you bothered about. Where am I going next? So have we got more highlights? Ademola Lookman had a chance. Who wants to take it?
Yeah, Lookman. You like that, Kate? Come on, we've got to keep the crowd entertained. But yeah, he does the first bit ever so well. He gets in front of Ben White there, and now you're just looking for a little bit of composure. He sort of has a touch, but he doesn't go out his feet. He's sort of reaching behind himself a little bit and can't get the purchase that he desires. So, yes, a little bit unlucky.
And then we thought there was another penalty for Arsenal, but this is where VAR does its job, and it was the right decision. It's not a penalty. But you can understand why the referee gives it. You see 2 players, happens really quickly, just gets there before the defender, but there's just no contact. He hasn't stood on the top of his foot. The boots have just come together. That's the best way of describing it, and that's where VAR works. And thankfully, as I said, we've had 2 really poor penalties given in the last 2 nights for something different than that. But that was it. I think it was, it was right that it was not given.
Looking at it again, Mike, you agree with Jamie on that?
Yeah, I do. I do on that. And especially the way Eze kicks out his left leg there. I mean, he's looking for it, isn't it? And VAR deserve a little bit of credit tonight, because I think that was a very good decision. Kate.
TT?
That would have been a soft penalty.
All agreed. Last chance of the game came from Mosquera. Should we take a look?
Yes, I mean, at this point, Arsenal were pushing. I mean, they went into a 5 at the back. Mosquera went wing back, and he found himself forward. But I mean, the keeper, Oblak, pretty much had it covered. But they was putting players forward at the time.
With that decision, and every now and then you kind of want the referee maybe to just trust his own instincts when he goes over to the monitor and he looks at it again and he has the chance to watch it 13 times. and go, actually, my on-field decision was probably the right one, but he didn't.
Yeah, and I think we need to see more of that across the board. Referees have got to have the bravery when they go there. They've made a big decision when they've seen it with their own eyes, 4, 5, 10, how many times you want to say, they need to have the bravery to stick with their own decision, because it wasn't a clear and obvious mistake. Everyone knows that. But I agree with the lads. I think there was definitely an impact from the bench of Atletico. They're brilliant at doing it. Martin won't like that, but it's gamesmanship. As the referee's coming over, before he's even looked at the screen, Simeone's in his face, he's waving his arms, then he's in his ear when he's at the screen. It's a performance, and he's the best at doing it.
We'd said he orchestrates the crowd here, but he obviously orchestrates...
And the referee.
The officials. He does that as well.
He influences.
And in fact, he does, because he creates a drama, and in fact, where he was running around, and there's a camera
But
on
Arteta does that as well.
Yeah, but
in the Premier League, Martin, Arteta does that.
Yeah, but not with the same sort of success as this man. This is a master.
Well, we're not talking about this. We're talking about
Simeone is ahead of everybody.
Listen, both their managers will need to lie down after that. They never stop.
I'd be interested to have a tracker on him to see what distance he covered in that technical area.
His behaviour was... Yeah. I mean, we could see... Sometimes the camera wasn't going on to him with the Spanish directors, of course, but we could see what was going on. And his behaviour and his number 2 and his number 3 with the 4th official and then the referee when he was running across was terrible, absolutely awful. And he'd change his mind if it was an Arsenal player or an Atletico player. His performance was terrible, and that's why people don't like the dark arts, don't like Atletico Madrid.
VAR.
It's a bit, but we'll talk about VAR and the shambles that is VAR.
And it shouldn't be getting involved, should it?
No.
It makes the referee look so foolish that he can't make a decision for himself. Put him in a really difficult position, because what is he to do? And the crowd here as well, baying for that decision. No, disappointing night all round.
I mean, we're going down a rabbit hole with this VAR thing, aren't we? And particularly the handball. This is the second penalty that was given and not given. Is the contact? There's a stamp on his foot there, and he goes to ground. Referee gives a legitimate penalty, whether you like it or not, and that should just be the end of it.
I mean, Eze does great, doesn't he?
Yeah,
How sharp and how quick and how fast is he onto that loose ball. And the defender's really clumsy. There's no need for him to make the mistake. The touch is going away from goal. Martin will tell you just keep your ground and be patient there as a defender.
If I thought we'd given one penalty away, by the way, he never got booked for that, and it was a goal-scoring opportunity, so I want to look at that as well. It's like, maybe he can dive in because he's not been booked. But look, it's silly defending, and he's got away with it.
Okay, well, there you go. There's the referee saying after 45 seconds at the screen, no, I'm going to... And he celebrates it, obviously. Look, it was a good moment for them, because it means they walk away with a draw. They take that to the Emirates, and that could be very important for them. Let's go back and tell the story of how it all began, especially in the first half. You guys were talking about that incident with the penalty that Victor Gyökeres won. Here it is, guys. Just tell me a little bit about your thoughts here.
Well, Alvarez is loose. The ball bounces off him. Arsenal pick up the second ball. It's excellent play. A little bit of combination play around the box. And Gyökeres is really clever. He gets himself in between the goal, the man and the ball, and he just waits for that contact, and it's a blatant penalty. It's really clumsy again. We're talking about the same defender.
Yeah, it's Hanchko again, isn't it? Doesn't get to the speed of the game, doesn't know where Gyökeres is, and just brings him down.
I know we're rushing to the penalty, great finish, but he's the wrong side of play, and he's not getting booked. I don't understand it.
Okay, guys, so obviously that's 1-0. And look, Martin, just before we move on to the second goal, you were saying as well, up until that moment, and actually for a little bit beyond it as well, Gyökeres was actually having quite a good game. He was playing exceptionally well, and the half-time came, and then they make the change. They did change it to a back 3, and they pushed their full-backs on a little bit. And then I think they were, with the decision for the penalty, it rejuvenates the whole atmosphere, the stadium, and they really were in a storm. Yeah. And I thought they did good credit to Arsenal for actually coming through that. And then, as I say, they didn't then get the moment that they required to get their second penalty. So I think it's a very good result, and there's still a whole lot more left in this tie. Okay, there we go. Look, guys, we said we'd show you the second penalty. That's just the Arsenal fans just serenading their players as they come back out behind us. They're still up there. They're just waiting to be left out. Guys, Julian Alvarez, who did have a couple of chances today as well, he eventually put away the penalty. That was the equalising penalty. Let's have a look at the incident as well, because did you guys... Maka, why don't we go to you? Did you think this was harsh?
I mean... He scuffed a shot as going 20 yards wide, and it bounces up and hits poor Ben White on the arm as he's naturally trying to drag it back into his own body. Of course, it's never handball
and takes a deflection off his knee.
Of course
In the
it
Premier
does.
League, it's a bit of a different rule.
I know, but Laura, this handball rule, it's actually spoiling football. It is spoiling football. Last night's one,
Certainly in
against
Europe it is.
Alphonso Davies,
He's
and
watched the game.
tonight
He's watched the game last night,
I
hasn't
know.
he? And he's seen that one given, and I think it's influenced.
Well, isn't it
it's a terrible
terrible?
decision.
It's
It's
terrible.
never a penalty.
This
It
is
was
the
a-
decision
I mean,
from
this was
last night.
I mean, that
atrocious
was
last night.
It was. I agree, Matt.
I mean, the speed at which that's
But I
coming in.
think them referees would have been in a hotel last night. The officials for tonight, they would have seen that, and they've seen the incident tonight live in front of them, and they've gone, "We've got to follow suit."
I mean, that's
But
come off his thigh onto his
It's
arm.
never a penalty. At Premier League level, that's never given.
That's the sad thing about it. At Premier League level now, there's a discrepancy between what goes on here in Europe and what goes on in the Premier League,
100%.
and it's getting too far away from each other because they're now giving penalties for
We
anything.
need to uniform this decision, don't we? I mean,
We just
how
need to
can it be
get rid of
different?
it.
So different in the Premier League to the Champions League.
This handball isn't. It just drives me absolutely
Spoiling-
crazy.
it's spoiling games.
Stephen, it's spoiling the game. Imagine saying that in a Champions League semi-final. Thankfully, last night there was 9 goals that we could talk about. But that decision got sort of eclipsed by the quality of the game, the Alphonso Davies one. But tonight, VAR will dominate the headlines, and all for the wrong reasons, yet again.
Lorente's running after his players, laughing.
Laughing
He's
at no-
laughing at what the referee's given him. It's getting to the stage where they'll aim for the hand in the box. Just start lifting it into someone's hand.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It is so good to have you with us this evening. I'm Kate, this is Thierry, Jamie and Micah. We've just decided that moving forward, my voicing isn't good enough apparently on these promos. You're going to do the voicing. This game was brought to you by
Verizon.
The network.
The network America relies on. I've got that husky if you need husky. You need louder.
I'll give
What
it
do you
a
need?
husky. Go ahead.
Give it, what is it again?
The post-game show is brought to you by Verizon.
By Verizon.
Is that husky?
That's not really husky. That's
Husky's rough, isn't it?
yeah, like a bit more manly. Yeah.
That's exactly that. Yeah. That's the one.
Right, guys.
Anywho, yes.
Come on, can we just say though, can we keep the energy up? We had a
We're
great
trying,
game
we're doing
yesterday.
yes.
Today, I want the same
Who's he
energy
talking
and same
to?
effort.
Who are you
because a lot of
talking
people,
to?
down tools, they've come in. This is one of our
You have
core
a-
audiences. Give them what
The
they
only
want.
one that needed coffee off air was you.
I know, yeah. I needed it, but I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all good. So it was 1-1 between Arsenal and Atletico. You shouldn't have had the coffee. You've gone loopy. Not exciting like yesterday, if we're honest. You don't always have to like it, but you can respect it,
Yeah.
Micah. Isn't that right?
Well, that's the famous quote from my friend Thierry.
Yes.
What do you think today?
No, listen. Yesterday we were on the moon. Now we're back on planet Earth.
Mm.
You have different ways of going about a game. We saw total football yesterday, and we saw football today. It's just you have different ways to go about it, as I just said, and that's a old school way to play away from home if you're Arsenal, and we also know what Atletico is about, and what we were expecting yesterday happened. We all enjoyed it. It was outstanding. We also expected what was going to happen tonight. I think the world of football was expecting what they saw tonight. Not a lot of chances, goal on set pieces at the end of the day because there are two penalties. But that's an old school Jamie proper
Yeah, it
ties,
was.
The King of Spain was
away
in the
from.
building,
Yes,
by the
obviously,
way.
as he-
Listen,
as
but
he should be.
it was different,
Great.
but as I said, it doesn't always have to be the same as last night. But that's 2 goals in 90 minutes, so that's 1 goal every
Every hour.
Every fourth.
How good was this man on the pitch, though? Griezmann.
That was his
Honestly,
last ever game in the Champions League there for sure.
his touch and technique and
At
his
that
weight of
stadium,
the pass is just brilliant. Eze made a difference when he come on as well. Arsenal are missing something. They're missing a little bit of, I don't know if it's firepower, I don't know if it's confidence, I don't know if it's belief. They're missing something because Atletico today were there for the taking. As soon as Arsenal scored, Atletico come into the game, and then they couldn't find the answers. And yes, every game is different, we know that. But I still think Arsenal could give a little bit more. In that final third, a little bit more quality. They didn't show that tonight. However, it's a good result.
It's still
It's a good away
Like
result.
I said, sometimes I think we are a bit harsh with the expectation. You have a team that still didn't lose in the Champions League. That's still a team that's solid in the Champions League, and we all know how they are. I know what we saw yesterday, again, I repeat, was outstanding. But those two coaches don't go about the game the same way. And so it was never going to be people over-attacking, having a lot of chances. But what you have to say about Arsenal, as I mentioned it so many times, they are solid, very difficult to beat. And yes, Griezmann hit the crossbar and you're going to have some chances. Was it a penalty or not? We're going to discuss about it. I'm just saying that at the end of the very day, this is still a team that still didn't lose in the Champions League. That counts for something.
Of course.
Understand me well. You still have to go and win the thing. But it's still a team that you kind of have to respect. I'm not talking about you, obviously, Mike. I'm just saying that it's a draw away from home. Back in any days and in my days, it's not a bad result. Now you need to finish the job at home. And again, I will repeat, that won't be easy for sure. But you have different ways to control a game or to go about a game. And, you know, whether, as I said, you like it or you don't like it, those guys are at the moment performing-ish in brackets, because you still have to go and get it in the Champions League. It's not a bad result.
No, it's a really good result. I said before the game that I felt Arsenal were a far better team than Atletico Madrid, but I thought it was a 50-50 tie, because I think of late Arsenal got fatigued. But when I watched that game tonight, listen, there wasn't much in it in the end, but there were times in the game where it almost felt easy for Arsenal, at times, especially in the first half. Even late on in the game, if someone was going to get the winning goal, you felt it might be Arsenal. Had a lot of possession around the edge of the box. He was obviously really good. He gets the Man of the Match award there. But no, it's a really good result. And I don't think Arsenal can do much more. And you said they're lacking something. It's pure quality. What we saw last night from some of those players, that's what they're lacking, Arsenal. And if you haven't got them to do that magic, you haven't got them. You know, so I think for Arsenal to go there, get a draw away from home in the Champions League and take it back to your own place against a team who you are better than. I thought they'd find it a lot tougher tonight, Arsenal, because I thought there was signs of fatigue at the weekend, but I didn't quite see that tonight. Maybe that was down to the quality of Atletico Madrid. But no, you go away in a semi-final, that's a really good result.
Let's take you over to Madrid, where Guillaume Balaguer and Alessandro Del Piero are watching live for us. What was your guys' take on that game, having watched live?
Welcome, guys.
It felt perhaps that the first 10 minutes, the venom of Atletico Madrid was taken away from Arsenal. Everything kind of balanced out in the first half, and then it was a completely different second half, wasn't it?
Well, the goal from Arsenal changed the perspective. In the second half, Atleti show what they are able to do. That is not only great defense and counter-attack, but also maneuverate actions and plays and opportunities. They have many opportunities, so they probably go with a draw now, with the head down a little bit, because it's supposed to be a win from them, from my point of view, at least for the number of opportunities that they had.
And I don't know if you saw it on television, but the floor was trembling, especially in the second half. The noise here was just incredible. It was helping Atletico Madrid, that came off the blocks in the second half, maintain that pressure for a long time. And for the first 25 minutes of the second half, it was 27% possession for Atletico Madrid, 11 shots to none of Arsenal. That was their moment, wasn't it?
It was definitely that moment, and the people, the fans, as you said, give them, of course, an extra boost, because they were pressing everybody. I mean, they were pressing Arteta at some point when the ball went out with the flow. So it's unbelievable, the rhythm that they put on the field, and they show good opportunities.
And could you hear all that from the VIP that you were sitting in?
Yeah, of course. It was a good, also good sounds. So.
Did he not take you with him?
No, just felt that this game is not over yet.
Did he leave you in the regular seats whilst he went to the VIP?
All of a sudden, I just went like...
I thought he was humble. We were told he was humble.
No, Guille was the first one to leave the pitch without me. He left me behind, so I need to find another place.
There's like a minute left. I never do that to you. London next week? Should we rekindle our love?
That's true. Do you want me there?
Of course I want you here, Alessandro. I've missed you.
I'll book a flight then.
Would you rather go to the other game? Come on, what do you do?
Well, Both games are great. To be honest, Bayern PSG looks a little bit more exciting from some point of view, but a little bit, just a little bit. But because I'm gonna be with you, I can be anywhere.
Oh,
come on!
Perfect, Alessandro. I'll be waiting for you. I'll follow you anywhere, sir.
All right, this is nice and weird. Guys, we'll leave you to go and do some interviews. We'll be back with you. See you in a minute. See you in a minute.
Why are you disrespecting Alessandro?
I'm not. You guys just have this odd thing going on.
Why? He's a legend, man.
I know he is, yes. I just felt bad for Guillaume because you were making out that you would be better company than Guillaume was.
Well, I would be.
Do you know what fruit Guillaume has on his shirt, by the way?
What was it,
figuring
apples?
Out.
A fruit
Nope.
salad?
No.
I don't know.
Peaches.
No.
Oranges.
Micah? No.
Pineapple.
No.
Mango.
No.
Pear.
What's
No.
it?
Pomegranate.
Yeah.